Yo, what is up guys? How's it going today? My name is SarahTube, and today I'm super excited because we're bringing the first official series to the channel, and that is the flipping 10 to 100 mil flipping series. In this series, I'm going to be showing you guys how to turn 10 mil into 100 mil just solely by flipping in old school RuneScape. Before we get too far into it, I have a couple of series rules that I think we need to follow in order to keep integrity of the series. The first rule, which might be obvious to some, is there will be no other money-making methods besides flipping. This is going to be solely money-making through flipping, and I won't be doing anything outside of flipping during this entire series. Number 2, since this is a series that requires membership will be paid for with real money. I'm not going to sustain a bond in-game through this series. And the reason that I'm going to be doing that is I don't play this game really often enough to make enough money with 10 mil to sustain a bond and continue the gains on this series. Because of that, I will be paying membership with real money, and it will not be coming out of my gold stack. Rule number 3 is there will be no trades or donations or any offers or trading to other players, so no kind of bulk flips or no, donations from viewers that will help the cash stack. I won't be accepting any of those. And rule number 4, because I know a lot of you want to see exactly what I'm flipping throughout the entire series, and obviously some things will have to be cut out in the series. All flips are going to be logged and tracked, and I'm going to release the entire flipping log after the series just to prove that I've gone all the way from 10 mil to 100 mil. I will be tracking this through RuneLite's GE tracking feature, so we can see all of our flips, and I'll export it as an Excel file after the series is done. I know a lot of you want to see everything that I'm going to be doing, and trust me, you will get the chance to see it. Wow, this feels super crazy. We're here at the Grand Exchange with 10 mil, about to start our way to 100 mil. Guys, I'm super excited for this, and because you guys probably know me so well at this point, you might know the exact item I'm going to start with. That's right, we're doing blood runes first. Just went ahead and checked those blood runes, and the margin on them is actually pretty good right now, 5 GP, so I'm gonna go ahead and list the limit, which is 10,000 every 4 hours, which is gonna run us about 3.85 mil. We'll list that and let it sit there for a minute. I think I'll move into the adamant darts next, as well as the Zolver scales, if we can afford it. And these are really all some great lower cash stack flips. These are perfect for a 10 million GP amount. And of course, we've already bought all the blood runes, which is absolutely insane. We're going to turn around and sell them right now and hopefully get a good price to sell them for. Originally, we were looking at a 5 GP margin. We'll see if we can hold that throughout this flip. I'm not even kidding. Literally, as soon as I hit stop recording, it sold off. So that was probably the quickest gain that we've ever had. It's about a 50k profit on that. Very nice. I went ahead and listed a few more flips, and I know a lot of you want me to talk about the mindset I have when I'm flipping these items and how I actually find items to flip. Now, I'll start with the adamant darts here. They are a really great flip for a 10, even a 5 mil cash stack, honestly. If you are someone who is starting to learn how to flip with 5 mil, adamant darts are amazing, and the reason that is you can usually get a between 2 and 4 GP margin on them, and they only cost a mil to flip the entire limit, which is 11,000 every 4 hours. That's what makes adamant darts really powerful. On top of that, we went ahead and listed these Zolver scales, which I believe we're getting 3 GP margins on. Very, very nice. We're also getting a 3 GP margin on the nature runes as well. These are all high volume flips that I've been using with lower stacks and that I teach people, day in and day out. And honestly, if you have a smaller cash stack, you do want to focus on these high volume flips. And again, we have a flipping list in our Discord group if you are interested. There is a link in the description below. But on top of that, you can also use the top 100 traded items in old school RuneScape on their official webpage. This is going to show you some really good high volume items that you can experiment with. And honestly, they are better for smaller cash stack amounts. Anywhere between 5 to 25 mil, these items are going to be really great for you. It's been about 5 minutes or so, and I was hoping that these items would actually buy out a little bit more. I'm happy with the Zolver scales, but the adamant darts and the nature runes aren't doing too much, so I think I'm going to shift what I'm flipping a little bit and see if we can get a good return on some other items. before we get into listing those other items, we were able to finish these Zulrah scales, which made us about 80k. Very, very strong flip considering our cash tag right now. We're already up over 100k. We're actually up 130k, and we're not even like 10 minutes into this series. So this has been really good so far. Our results are turning out to be really strong, and we're just going to keep it up here, showcase a few more items, and of course continue talking about how to actually flip this 10 million GP that you might end up with. Basically, what I decided to do here is I'm actually just going to buy a ton of different runes. I'm going to price check a ton of different runes and kind of diversify into them. And the reason I'm actually doing this is because I know like any kind of rune basically is going to be a high volume flip. A lot of runes are traded back and forth on the Grand Exchange. And of course, there's obviously a lot of money making opportunities for smaller cash stacks in this space. When you are flipping with such low amounts here, you really want to be active on the Grand Exchange. You don't want to leave your offers in for too long, because for the most part you're flipping high volume items which tend to flip very quickly, and the price can shift by 1 GP upwards or downwards, and you have to be there at the Grand Exchange to actually be able to capitalize on that. So it's very important you are actively flipping at the Grand Exchange when you are at a smaller amount of cash. Once you get a little bit, fatter of a stack, 100 mil plus, then you can start being a little bit more passive. But for now, we're going to be really active on the Grand Exchange. We're going to check everything, make sure everything is flipping properly, and we're going to go from there. Just pulled out those death runes, made a quick 30k on them. Very nice. You'll notice, again, everything I'm flipping right now is high volume. I've actually never flipped the vials of water, and it's only a 1 GP margin, but I thought since it's so cheap to flip the limit of them, and since we can get 1 GP on them, I thought it might be kind of worth filling up one slot with them and just make a little bit of a return on it. But I've never flipped it before, so we're going to see how that works. And these adamant darts, they're coming in really slowly, so I knocked them up a GP here to 97 as opposed to 96, which is what we were buying them for before, and it's still really not working out, so I'm going to leave it a little bit longer just to see what happens. I do know this is a good flip, but something is wrong, and the volume that we need is not coming in. So we're going to keep a close eye on those, but you'll notice, again, a lot of high volume flips going on here. I'm going to be focusing primarily on high volume only until we get to around 25 mil. So I'll really showcase how you can use your cash stack to leverage high volume flips. A little update here, we were able to sell off all those law runes, which was a really, really strong flip for us. I'm actually really happy we're able to get those off. Now, we were able to flip them for a 5 GP margin each, which is very, very nice, and looks like it made us about 50k, so very happy with that. And we're gonna take that right to the stack. And on top of that, I decided to go ahead and flip some brine sabers, which is actually not what I was recommending before. I was saying you should only stick to high volume, but since I do have a little bit of flipping experience, I was thinking like, yeah, I can probably flip a few brine sabers, and the margin is pretty decent on them right now for our current cash stack. We're gonna get around 13k for every one that we flip, so we're gonna try to capitalize on that. I went ahead and listed some amethyst crystal, games necklaces, and rings of recoil. I haven't really tried the games necklaces or the rings of recoil, so we're gonna see if they work out for us. Looks like we can sell these for about 849, but I don't really think that's accurate. I'm gonna do 847, and they should sell a lot faster. It should be a little bit better for us. And if that works, we're gonna go back and flip it again, but I'm trying a few new items out here just to see how it works, and if they do work, well, then you guys can use them as well. And literally, as I'm talking, the rings of recoil finish, so we're definitely going to flip a few more of those. The most important thing when you have around a 5 to 10 mil cash stack, like we started with 10 mil, and the essential thing is don't lose money. It doesn't matter if your flips are not making you that much money, just focus on getting 10k, 20k returns on some of your flips, and just consistently hit these flips and do not lose money. It is very important that you don't take a lot of risk when you have this much cash, because the worst thing you can do is lose money, as it's going to give you even less buying power than you currently have. Once you have a ton of money and you feel like taking those risks to potentially make huge profits, that's a different story. That is up to you at that point. You've already got a ton of money to fall back on if it does go poorly, but at this stage, when you're only working with 10 million GP, you really want to be as safe as you can and just only focus on safe flips. And you might think I'm not actually making that much money. I really am. You'll see at the end of this episode that you're actually able to make a lot of money with only high volume flips. And we were able to flip those Brine Sabers, made us 24k or so. Very nice. We're going to try to do 2 more of those, I'm thinking. Revenant Ether sold as well. We bought all the games necklaces, and the grapes are almost completely sold off as well, which we're getting a 4 GP margin on. But those Revenant Ethers worked out very, very nicely. It was a pretty slow flip. It's slower than I was actually expecting, but they still paid off very nicely there. Looks like we made 20k. We're going to go back, flip another quantity, hopefully make another 20k off of those. We're going to relist these games necklaces and basically just maintenance our flips. You'll notice that I'm really standing at the Grand Exchange. I'm checking margins often. I'm just making sure everything is working out, and we're probably going to cut back on these Amethyst crystals as well because it's only a 5 GP margin, and you can tell we've got 645k locked up in there, and it's not really working out for us. Grapes finished, made us 50k, very easy profit. The magic logs seem to have an above average margin right now, about a 9 GP margin, selling for 1,013 each. We're going to see if we can actually hit it. I'm not sure if we'll be able to, but if we can, it's going to be a pretty good gain to our stack so far. It's one of the riskier things we've done today for sure, with the Brine Saber as well, which maybe you don't want to look into if you are, flipping 10 mil for your first time, but since I am a little bit of an experienced flipper, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to hit it. The Wrath runes finished up as well, and we were able to get about 40k on those, so nothing too crazy there, but pretty good overall. As you can see, in about that 30-minute or so session, we're already up to 427k in profits. I'm gonna go list a few kind of overnight flips right now, and we'll check back in on them in a little bit here, but I'm gonna see if I can maximize this cash stack a little bit more while I'm not playing. Here are what we're going to be flipping overnight here. I decided that I'd go half really safe flips, which is why we have the runes listed here. And then for the other stuff, I thought we'd go a little bit riskier. They're still on the safe side as they're primarily high volume, but they fluctuate a little bit more than the runes do. So we're kind of doing some half really safe investments, and then the other half are like pretty safe investments that I think are going to work out, but are a little bit riskier. We're going to log off for a few hours. We're going to see if this works out for us, and I'll keep you guys updated. And we are back. It's actually been about a day, which is a little bit longer than I would have liked to be away from it. I just really didn't get a chance to log on, so I'm going to turn all of these flips around. It looks like we've gotten some pretty good progress here. We should be able to sell everything for a profit. We weren't able to get the Dragon Javelins besides a few, but we actually got that before we even logged off previously. So I'm going to turn everything around, and I'll keep you guys updated on the profits. And there we go. Everything has sold. Let's go ahead, collect it, and see how much money we've made so far this episode. As you can see here, guys, we are currently up 600k, doing pretty well this episode, not gonna lie. Being up almost a mil in the first episode, cannot complain with that. We're going to go ahead and list a few more day flips here. I do have work right now, so I want to make sure I list a few things, and then I'll check it at the end of the day and see what kind of profits we're making. Here are the day flips we've listed. Did the Diamond Dragon Bolts E and the Green Dragon Leather again, and actually the Water Runes are already buying out, so that's fine. But again, 2 really safe flips here, followed by Grapes, which I think are a pretty safe flip, should buy out, should be an easy profit on those. Green Dragon Leather, they did good last time, so might as well try to flip it again. And of course, throwing something new in there, the Diamond Dragon Bolts E. So we're going to wait for the whole day today. It's going to be about 8 hours, and we'll see if this actually works out for us. And I have just gotten back on. Looks like all of the Green Dragon Leather and the Diamond Dragon Bolts E have bought, so we're going to turn around and see if we can sell these for a good profit here. The Grapes have not bought, so we're just going to cut back on those and give up on them. But on top of that, we were able to get some Fire Runes and Water Runes, and I think they're both going to do really well here. They're only going to net us 1 GP in profit, but again, you really want to manage your risk when you only have 10 mil to flip with. So make sure you're doing some risky, not really risky, but some not as safe flips, because Fire Runes and Water Runes are very safe, while Green Dragon Leather and Diamond Dragon Bolts E are also very safe, but they're a little bit less safe than the runes. Also, I heard that blood runes are actually going crazy right now, so I want to make sure we can try to turn around and sell all of this and try to hit blood runes before we wrap up the episode. The Diamond Dragon Bolts E sold for 1,280 each. It took about 2 minutes for those to sell, so that went really quick. 20 GP profit per, which is really solid profits right there, guys. Looks like we made about 80k on those, which, oh, that's going to be 60k. I did the math wrong there, but yes, so that's a really good profit regardless, and I'm happy with that gain. We're going to go and try to hit blood runes here really quick. I heard the margin is absolutely outstanding right now, so we're actually going to do a check live on this recording just to see what we can get for these. It does look like blood runes are going on a big tank in price right now, so I'm hoping I can pick up a few for a cheap price and turn around and flip them. But if you remember previously in this series here, in this episode actually, I can't find it here on my history, but we were able to flip these blood runes for, I don't know, if I had to guess, maybe like a 4 to 5 GP profit, but currently they're showing an 11 GP profit, which is absolutely insane. I'm gonna go in here and try to get that 11 GP margin. Hopefully it works out for me, and if it does, I'm actually thinking of trying to hit these overnight as well. So we're gonna look into it, we're gonna see what we can do here and try to get some really solid profits. Boom, look at that. We were able to get a 10 GP margin on the blood runes, which wasn't the 11 GP we originally advertised, but 100k in literally probably 3 minutes here flipping the blood runes. I'm telling you guys, these high volume flips are the way to go. If you are underneath a 100 mil cash stack, high volume is such a good friend of yours. I highly recommend trying to learn how to flip high volume because first of all, it is easy, and second of all, look at these profits, guys. It is a lot better than people think. We're going to keep a close eye on these other flips here, and we're going to basically wrap up the episode here, so I'm going to try to sell some of this off. We'll see what we end the episode with. I'm thinking that I want to end the episode with a mil in profit. I think it'll be pretty close as well, so we'll take a quick look here in a minute once this stuff sells. Here we are at the end of the very first episode of flipping 10 mil to 100 mil, and currently we have made 900k so far in the series, 902k to be exact. Now, I know a lot of this episode was overnight flipping and kind of just day-long flips that didn't really have a lot of interactions going on, not a lot of standing at the Grand Exchange and buying, selling items back and forth. There will be more of that in the next episode. Now, on top of that, I will be showcasing new items every episode, so we'll keep it fresh, we'll keep showing new items, and as the cash stack progresses, we'll be able to show even more items, and we'll just kind of snowball the cash stack into that 100 mil goal. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you want to see out of this series. If you have any item recommendations of what I should be flipping, please leave it in the comments. This series is for you guys, so I really want to know your feedback, what you guys want to see, and just provide that content for you. Anyway, guys, 900k this episode. Gonna try to make a mil next episode, and we'll just keep growing that cash stack. Thank you all for tuning in today. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.